Hi, my name is Steve Shockley, Steve. Shockley is ShockleY. My ghost story is about Fort Mifflin, which is outside of the Philadelphia area, right behind the Philadelphia International Airport. I am part of an investigating team, paranormal investigative team, and we go there quite often because it's so close to our homes, primarily, and it's such a neat place to go. Now, about a year and a half ago, I had a team in there doing an overnight investigation. And on this particular day, we were in a building which houses casemates 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, as they're currently called today. Now, while in casemate 3, I just had the hairs on the back of my neck stood up, which gave me the indication that we may not have been alone inside casemate 3. So we're taking photographs. The flashes are going off with our digital cameras, and we all had our recorders going like investigative teams do. And it occurred to me that when we often say that these cameras that we have are the little lights on the boxes that are flashing, they won't hurt you. It occurred to me that maybe they know what a camera is, being that they were from the Civil War, if that's the case that we had in casemate 3 with us. So I decided to try something new. Assuming they were from the Civil War, they would have called it the war between the states. I said, the little boxes that we have in our hand are cameras. They make photographs. During the war between the states, you had a very famous individual named Mathew Brady, and he made photographs. Fundamentally, the technology is the same. The little boxes that we have just take photographs. The entire time I was doing this, I was explaining this, I'm taking pictures, flashes going off. And I got to a point where I said, so, would you allow me to take your photograph? And I snapped the picture. There it was. It looked like someone blew a plume of cigar smoke right in front of the lens. You could almost see a face. Well, I think you can see a face, a hat, almost a buckskin shirt, and what looks to be a very long beard, almost like a mountain man would have looked in the 1840s era. We tried duplicating this. We tried duplicating the event by having a group of people around my camera blowing their air, their breath in front of the camera. And no matter what we did, we had clear shots of the wall of casemate 3. So we were unable to duplicate it and unable to explain what appeared to be a plume of smoke. Personally, I think I asked for permission to take his photograph, and he gave it. So we moved on to casemate 1, and while in casemate 1, which is a much larger casemate, that's the first one that you come to, I was explaining to the group that I was with that there have been those who have been pushed, shoved, slapped. Some have even reported having their hair played with back in casemate 5. And then I said, but they won't touch me. Now, admittedly, that's a pretty brazen statement to make. But I have my reasons for doing that, or for saying that. Later on, when I went home and I listened to the recordings of casemate 1, you'll hear me say there have been people that have been pushed, shoved, slapped, but they won't touch me. 2 other voices follow that statement that were not heard while we were all in the room. The first voice says, in surprise almost, they won't. Second voice says, special. What they meant by special, I have no idea. I was kind of flattered that they said something like that, but it was an awesome experience and an awesome recording. I've sent the photograph and the EVP recording along so you can make up your own mind for it. Do I feel cold chills? I haven't personally felt that much of it. Occasionally I do feel a cold chill, but in this particular case, it was more of the feeling of being watched. The hairs on my arm, the hairs on the back of my neck were standing up, indicating that there was someone in that casemate 3 with us that none of us could see. Why do I think it happened to me? I think a great deal of what happens to paranormal investigators is because of respect. If you give the spirits the respect that they deserve, I think they're a lot more cooperative. Certainly familiarity might have something to do with it as well. We go to the fort quite often, and the spirits would be just like any other individual where they see you a number of times. They're going to remember who you are, and the more often you're there, the more comfortable they are with your presence. The fort that saved America and saw 5 wars. These folks in there died for our country, and certainly they deserve the respect that goes with it, with a situation like that. Additionally, they're 150 to 200 years, 300 years old. Us walking up to them and trying to provoke them or anger them or tell them how we think they should perform for us is the equivalent of a small child walking up to a senior citizen and telling them how they think they should have run their lives. It generally doesn't work that way. Do I believe in spirits? Do I believe in ghosts? I'm not really sure what they are. We get recordings of intelligent recordings on our digital recording devices, certainly responses to our questions. Can I absolutely say that it's the voice of a disembodied spirit? No, I can't say that for sure. The photographs that we get, is it smoke? Is it an anomaly on the lens on the camera? Or is it a spirit trying to materialize in front of us in response to my particular asking him permission to take the photograph? I think as our equipment gets better and our technology advances, we may be able to answer those questions. But right now, we're just gathering evidence, and you have to make your own choice. Thanks for your time.